let the test begin. So the battery died and it just turned 9 o'clock. I'm going to show you how fast Warp Charge 65 is in real time. Well, you take your eye off this thing for just 1 minute and you miss the 100%. So there you go, in real time, 0% to 100 in under 40 minutes. So we'll boot this up. It does boot up quite quickly. And I don't recommend doing this. I don't think it's very healthy for the battery to drain it all the way to 0 where it doesn't even turn on and then fully charge it to 100. From what I've been reading, more so they're recommending that you stay in that happy zone between 20 and 70%. Hold on, look away. 1 day, 15 hours ago. See the spike right there. So 1 day, 5 hours and 5 minutes of screen time. Pretty typical. Now, before you go off and comment something really mean, yes, I realize that not everyone is going to charge their phone off, but it's just a nice example of how fast that Warp 65 charging is. And then if we go to Digital Wellbeing, you can see what I did on my phone today, 2 hours and 12 minutes. And then yesterday, another 2 hours and 22 minutes. So almost 5 hours. And the main thing that was using up my battery was photo backups. And then I was doing some 5G testing through the speed test app. And if you didn't know this already, when you're using 5G, yeah, that can really burn through your battery. So as far as the 5G on this phone, I've found it to be pretty great. Not as fast as you would think. You know, you hear all these stats, but you know, not bad. Now again, this is connected to Mint Mobile. Maybe that's why some of the speeds weren't as fast. And I tried the 5G's tests with the case on and the case off. Didn't seem to make a big difference. This is a pretty thin case that I've been using on the OnePlus 8T. So there you go, just a quick little battery life. I just love the battery charging. Warp 65T has been the fastest ever, and it's telling me that I have a good 9 hours left. And I couldn't do this without showing you the cool charging logo. Here we go. Hey, what happened? Well, that didn't work. Oh, you know what? It's because Do Not Disturb's on. Hang on. Oh, it's the optimized charging, which apparently does not work when it's on. Okay, so we have to go to battery. Optimized charging. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Warp charge. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I've been really impressed with the OnePlus 8T. This is one of those phones that I wasn't going to order, but my son really wanted me to order it. He really wants me to test the OnePlus Nord, but I can't seem to get my hands on that one. Will I keep this? I'm trying to figure out a way to keep this phone and possibly sell my OnePlus 6T and upgrade. The camera changes from the OnePlus 6T to the 8T, huge improvements. The battery life is great. Love that warp charging 65. Much different and way better than the warp charge that they were using. Well, it was just fast charging. It was like 30T charging back on the OnePlus 6T. But huge improvements over the last 2 years. If you have the 7T, I don't think you're going to upgrade. This is more intended for people that have a 2 or 3-year-old phone, or if you're new and you want to try that OnePlus experience, I think you'll like it. My favorite features so far, well, yeah, the charging and the battery life, but also that flat screen. It's kind of, hard to see on that camera angle, but love the flat screen. You are going to need a case. It's pretty slippery, but the 120 hertz refresh rate is great. Even with that, I was still able to get 6 hours of screen time, and it does great. My standby tests are really good, which means when you're not using the phone, the battery optimization, Oxygen 11 running with Android 11, it's very synergistic. It's a little happy Android experience, and it works great. With the AOD on, so all my tests have been with AOD, and it's been wonderful. So with AOD and 120 hertz, I was able to get that 5 hours of screen time, and one of the tests was 6.5 hours of screen time. And from my testing and my documentation, having the always on display, so where it just has that time, like that, but just the time screensaver, that uses about 1 to about 1.25 battery percent per hour. So over an 18-hour day, you might see about a 19% drop in your battery life. So not a huge drop. And the way I tested that is, I didn't turn it off. I put it in airplane mode, I put it in do not disturb, and then I just left it alone. I didn't have any calendar notifications going through, and that's how I tested the battery drain of the always on display. Well, that's all I have for now. Just wanted to focus on the battery life of this amazing OnePlus phone. If you have any pithy comments, put those down below, and don't forget to run farther to go further in life. Goodbye.